are you? How's your week? How's everything? My name is Joy, and this is the TIG vibration where we tell different stories, where we tell you we talk about life, different aspects of life, whether politics, socially, economically, any aspect of life, the fun part of life. And yeah, so this is yet another episode where we're going to talk about gender-based violence. Yeah, we have a guest today. Um, Good evening, Leona.
Good evening.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Could you tell us about yourself? Who are you? Where are you from?
My name is LEONAH, a student at Macquarie University Business School. Miss Tourism, Fashion at TIG, Miss Conservation TIG. A debate president, Macquarie University Business School. And more so, I am an advocate, SDG advocate, and more into girl empowerment. I think basically for now I can say that's it. Maybe the most relevant would be youth inclusion in governance. Currently, those are the projects I'm working on.
Wow, those are too many projects. How do you do it?
No, actually, everything. It's only about programming and scheduling, like knowing when to do what to do. Then obviously less time of sleep.
You're a hero. Anyway, so today our topic is gender-based violence, and you've talked about girl empowerment and all. So I want you to explain to our viewers what you think gender-based violence is. Generally, just like a small definition.
Okay, gender-based violence, I can say, like in layman's language, we can say this is violence that is, sided or targeted to a person, not because they are human, but because of their gender. You get, many times we have this, and okay, in most cases it's gender-based violence against women, right? But sometimes with times we've seen it change, both to males and females. So it's based on gender, not necessarily you being a female. But then, because of the society we've been in, women have become more victims.
Why would you say so?
Okay, the society in which we are is patriarchal, where men believe, they have to dominate, where men believe, yes, they have the power. So some of them believe the way you have to show the other gender you're stronger than them is by harassing them, showing that, they have no power at all. We've seen it in very many scenarios. Even actually, the fact that I'm in politics, I've seen it, where people come and are telling you plainly, if you want this, you're going to have sex with me, or they're going to freely touch any part of you because they feel they are superior and you have nothing you can do against them.
So could you briefly tell us what you think qualifies to be gender-based violence? Because sometimes there are some people who mistake other things for gender. Like, what qualifies to be gender-based violence?
Okay, I think
examples or something.
Okay, if we're going to go to examples, I can start from probably the verbal part of it, where someone is going to tell you you are female and yeah, you cannot do anything. Probably you are female and you are not supposed to get into some levels of leadership in politics, in religion. I've seen it all around. So the verbal part is where someone is going to, victimize you verbally. They may not physically attack you, but it's verbal. You get. Then there is the physical part where someone is going to directly touch you or harass you in any way, probably slap you or do anything. We've seen this more in families, marriages, where someone easily finds it to beat their wives because they feel, yeah, I'm a man and you are a woman. But still, we've even seen it change to universities. Lecturers tell you, if you want your marks, you have to have sex with me. Which I believe, as long as, okay, where I believe it qualifies to be violence is when we've not agreed. You understand? Okay, it may be agreement, but as long as it's not forceful, you get. If it's willing, like, yes, I have my boyfriend, or there is a man I'm willing to sleep with, I don't believe that's gender-based violence, right? But if it's something that is forceful, it's not within my consent, then that's violence.
So is it violence if it's the truth? For example, you're at a workplace and your boss is a guy, and you have 4 children, yeah, and there's a leadership position that you're fighting for, maybe with a guy, and then they give it to the guy. Maybe you're higher than the guy in I don't know how that works. Maybe you're higher in competence and abilities and what. But then their reason is, since you have many children and sometimes you keep turning up late to work, or you have so many responsibilities, you've just given birth, they feel like you won't be able to handle, because that's what most people say, yeah, because you have maybe your child is like 7 months, yeah, but for you feel like you can handle, is that gender-based violence? Isn't there some little truth buried in
Okay,
that?
okay. Now you see where I believe, or where violence comes from is when it's a plain ground. You get, probably you're not going to give me a job because I'm female, basically that. But as we all know, as long as I'm going to give someone a job, there are factors we will consider. On a capitalistic part, I want to get profits, right? But still, on the social part of it, you understand this is a breastfeeding mother, assuming it's an air hostess, right? I'm not going to give someone with a child, right? So that's not violence. Violence comes in when it's you are refusing to give me the job because probably I am female. You get that just by the fact
Just
that I'm
that.
female, yeah, just that. But if there are things that are attached, probably because even qualifications matter. Just talked about it. You're coming late. That's already something that shows you are not competent enough. You get. But then, okay, I think on a plain ground that shouldn't be violence.
Yeah. So my other question is sometimes for gender-based violence, I'm speaking. I'm sorry, I'm speaking mostly about women because that's more
Yeah,
common.
yeah, that's common.
I know men also go through it. Don't attack me. But sometimes these women tend to stay. Most
Okay.
times they tend to stay in their marriages and keep quiet because community brings out this aspect of a woman should keep quiet. Marriage issues should remain in the house. Don't tell a friend. You'll be exposing your family and all. What do you have to say about that?
Okay, I think that's why I started and said, the society is patriarchal. They believe, if probably a woman, by any means in a marriage, a woman made any kind of mistake, probably the men will have to know.
Yeah.
And his men, right? And that will be justified, like, yes, he's telling his friends. But then to the woman, it shall be the other way around. You are supposed to keep quiet. That's what they say.
Yeah.
But I believe those are traditions we have come with. But the world is evolving each and every day, of which we shall have to learn to break some traditions. As long as the traditions are not for your good, you should break them. I know we all learned history when they would tell us, they used to bury people with the kabaka and all that.
Yeah.
But times have changed and things have changed.
Yeah.
So I believe as long as traditions, we find there is no, like reasonable justification for why we should keep quiet. As long as you are being beaten. But if we're to look at the fact or the factors that bring up the women keeping buying, can say sometimes most of them are dependents. They depend on the men, and they know even when I go back home, probably my parents are not going to provide. I cannot sustain myself or even my children. So they will choose, let's keep quiet, let's sit on the pain, and for the sake of ourselves and our families, at least someone is providing, even if they're torturing us. So I think I wouldn't say they keep there because they don't want, probably because they enjoy it or they've accepted it, but because sometimes life they don't have options. Like they are poor, and most times I can say that's the basic part of it, because if someone would sustain themselves, they would have a divorce where they know they can continue and sustain each other's lives. But because women have continuously had this mindset of, no, we're supposed to depend on the man, he's supposed to provide, and you'll find some people you've gone and you do not have someone that is still interested in investing in you.
Yeah.
So they'll have only an option of keeping behind and enjoying that game.
Where should so if someone is going through gender-based violence, where should they go? Like, what steps would you advise them to take?
Okay, the very first thing I can say, like I initially said, I think it's seeking justice first, because any way you are going to try probably first involve the community and all that. In most cases, you'll find the society in itself is patriarchal. But on an assumption that the society would listen to you and you people can come on a round table agreement and you see change. But if you come for a round table agreement and there is no change, there is you're not seeing any progress. Like it's more like we're just having talks and that's all. Then I would prefer we seek justice. And then secondly, I believe people that have been victims of gender-based violence and have successfully gone through it, if male or female, I believe this would be the best advocates, because I'm sure there are stories that change lives.
Yeah, your story is powerful. As we come to the end of this interview, Leona, I want you to, I'm requesting you to look into the camera and talk to someone who's going through gender-based violence out there. Someone could be watching, and yeah, give them your last word, what you want them to take from you today, the last thing that you want them to take from you today.
Well, I think the last thing I can say first to both male and female, gender is not something that will that will define your capability in anything you will do in life. As long as you believe okay, first of all, you are going through gender based, right? You're being violated and all that. So first of all, you have to know you are justified to have justice. You are supposed to be given justice, and justice should always be served. So please go ahead and speak out. Do not shut up and sit down on your pain. You do not deserve pain. In this world, we all can have a peaceful world as long as we join together our hands and fight against gender-based violence. We shall be successful, and it shall all be an end. And remember, your story is powerful. She just told us. Go on around the world, tell your story. It will inspire others to stand up and speak against gender-based violence, because we believe together we can have this come to an end. Thank you so much.
Wow. Wow, that was quite an episode. It was about gender-based violence, like you saw it. And so, as TIG, we are telling you, if you're out there and you're undergoing gender-based violence at whatever level, whether you're young, whatever age you are, whatever network you're in, we encourage you to seek justice or find someone to talk to, even if it's at the church level, even if it's at the district level, lawyers, therapists, anyone that you think can help, even if it's a friend. Seek justice or talk to someone at least, because we care about you and your story is powerful. Yeah. This is CIG Vibration. Your story is powerful.